Okay, I'm going to make a start. I know people are moving in and out, but that's the nature of the day. My name is Middleton. I'm based in Quality Enhancement. And I've been doing some work around what is the impact of the smart technologies that we have in our pockets and our bags. And I just need only 2 minutes. I wanted to share the handout, which I have distributed from earlier. I think I'm going to run out. But in this work, my starting question was, why is this different to mobile learning? Many of us will be familiar with notions of mobile learning. We've been looking at mobile learning and its implications for teaching and learning in higher education since about 2004, really. But in 2004, we were talking about those funny little clamshell mobile phones and PDAs that were actually quite chunky and ran out of battery life. Things actually have moved on with the technology, hasn't it, in the last 10 years. When we're talking about mobile technologies, now we are more commonly thinking about iPhones, iPads and other tablets, that sort of thing. And these devices really are very, very different. Having looked at the literature over the last 10 years continuously, I don't think we're necessarily talking about anything new. I think the really new thing here is, it's not what we might do, or some of us might be able to do now. Is actually the big difference is what we can all do now. The ownership of smart devices is incredible. And I think we can actually seriously now start to look at what are the implications of each of us, of our students, having access, at least in pairs, to mobile personal technology. Ought we not to look at the potential for disrupting our existing teaching methods? And if, just referring back to the keynote and the session that David Fairhurst just gave on the scale up, I think for many of us we're starting to see that moment in time when it is realistic to have the technology right there to inform the conversation that we are immersed in. So I've shared a handout and I'm not going to talk through it in any depth, but I'd really just like to use my last 30 seconds to say to anyone in the room, if this is an area that is of interest to you, I think this university really needs to up the ante in terms of considering the disruptive nature of smart technologies. The handout will give you some thoughts about how I see certain things correlating and creating new opportunities. So I referred to mobile learning, but other things that we might look at are the increased opportunities to work with rich digital media, user-generated media, bring your own devices, mobile learning, as I say, notions of open learning, things that don't necessarily have to fit within a structured approach to timetable, formal delivery. And of course, social media for learning, and there'll be another presentation, I'm guessing, just looking who's on the bill for this session on several of those points. Finally, just before I go, can I remind everyone again that next week this university is involved in an international project for the third time. Bring your own devices for learning actually picks up on some of the ideas here. What does the personal smart device mean for us and the way we engage in teaching and learning? If you would like to find out more about Bring Your Own Devices for Learning, please speak to me or Sue Beckingham, who we're both here today. It's happening next week, all week, and it'll be riveting, I'm sure. Right, thank you, Joe, and over to our next presenter.